Welcome to Star Bios, the podcast where we delve into the fascinating lives of Hollywood's most iconic stars. I'm your host, Casey Gold, and today we're shining the spotlight on a true legend, Humphrey Bogart. With his distinctive voice, rugged charm, and unforgettable performances, Bogie, as he was affectionately known, left an indelible mark on the silver screen. From his early days as a stage actor to his rise as a Hollywood powerhouse, Bogart's life is a captivating tale of talent, perseverance, and passion. Born on Christmas Day, 1899, in New York City, Humphrey DeForest Bogart was the eldest child of Belmont Bogart and Maud Humphrey. His father, a successful surgeon with a penchant for conservative values, and his mother, a portrait painter with a free-spirited nature, created an intriguing dynamic that would shape young Humphrey's personality. The family resided in a comfortable Upper West Side brownstone, surrounded by the vibrant cultural scene of Manhattan. As a child, Bogart was fascinated by the theater, often sneaking into the nearby Olympia Theater to watch performances. Bogart's early education took place at the prestigious Trinity School, where he developed a passion for sports, particularly boxing and football. However, his academic performance was lackluster, and he was eventually expelled from Trinity in 1917. This setback led to a brief stint at the Phillips Academy in Massachusetts, but Bogart's time there was cut short when he was expelled again, this time for allegedly throwing a classmate into a pond. Although some have disputed this incident as mere myth-making, it marked the beginning of a period of uncertainty and self-discovery for Bogart. In 1918, Bogart enlisted in the United States Navy, where he served on the USS Leviathan during World War I. After his honorable discharge in 1919, Bogart returned to New York City, determined to pursue a career in the theater. He began working as a shipper's clerk at the William F. Jacoby Company, a job that allowed him to support himself while also nurturing his growing interest in the performing arts. In 1921, Bogart made his stage debut in a minor role with the Knickerbocker Players, a stock company based in New York City. Although this early foray into acting was largely unnoticed by critics and audiences alike, it marked an important turning point in Bogart's life, as he began to focus more seriously on a career in the performing arts. The influences of his family, education, and wartime service all contributed to the complex personality that would eventually captivate audiences worldwide. As we explore the formative years of Humphrey Bogart's life, it becomes clear that his unique blend of toughness, vulnerability, and charisma was forged in these early experiences. From the streets of Manhattan to the stages of New York City, Bogart's journey was just beginning. Bogart's transition to film was not immediate, however. He continued to work in theater throughout the 1920s, honing his craft and developing his unique style. In 1928, he made his Broadway debut in the play Dracula, which ran for 261 performances. This success led to more substantial roles on stage, including a notable performance in the 1934 production of Invitation to a Murder. But it was the advent of sound in film that truly opened doors for Bogart. He began landing small roles in movies, often playing rough-around-the-edges characters that would become his trademark. In 1934, he appeared in his first major film, The Petrified Forest, alongside Leslie Howard and Bette Davis. Although not a starring role, Bogart's performance caught the attention of critics and audiences alike. The 1940s were a defining decade for Bogart, with a string of iconic films that cemented his status as a Hollywood legend. In 1941, he starred in The Maltese Falcon, directed by John Huston, which would become one of the most influential films noir of all time. Bogart's portrayal of private detective Sam Spade showcased his unique blend of toughness and vulnerability, setting the standard for future detectives on screen. Bogart's collaboration with John Huston was a pivotal factor in his success during this period. The two men formed a close friendship and professional partnership that would yield some of the most memorable films of the era. In 1942, they worked together again on Across the Pacific, a wartime thriller that showcased Bogart's ability to play complex, nuanced characters. The following year, Bogart starred in one of his most iconic roles, Rick Blaine in Casablanca. This timeless classic, directed by Michael Curtiz, has become synonymous with Bogart's name, and his character's famous line, "Here's looking at you, kid," remains one of the most quotable phrases in movie history. Bogart's personal life was also undergoing significant changes during this period. In 1945, he married Lauren Bacall, a young actress who had made her debut opposite him in To Have and Have Not. The couple's romance was a whirlwind affair, with Bogart, 25 years Bacall's senior, sweeping her off her feet. Their marriage would last until Bogart's death in 1957 and produced 2 children. As the 1940s drew to a close, Bogart continued to push the boundaries of his craft, taking on challenging roles in films like The Treasure of the Sierra Madre and Key Largo. His collaboration with John Huston remained a highlight of his career, with the two men working together on some of the most iconic films of the era. As we explore this pivotal period in Bogart's life, it becomes clear that his unique blend of talent, perseverance, and passion was the driving force behind his success. From the stage to the screen, Bogie had become an undeniable star, with a legacy that would endure for generations to come. The 1950s were a decade of continued excellence for Bogart, with standout performances in films like The African Queen and Sabrina. His collaboration with John Huston remained a highlight of his career, with the two men working together on The Asphalt Jungle and Beat the Devil. These films showcase Bogart's ability to play complex, nuanced characters, often with a hint of vulnerability and wit. Bogart's personal life was also thriving during this period. His marriage to Lauren Bacall remained strong, and the couple became one of Hollywood's most beloved and respected pairs. They had 2 children together, Stephen and Leslie, and were known for their witty banter and charming public appearances. However, Bogart's health began to decline in the mid-1950s. He had been a heavy smoker and drinker throughout his life, and these habits took a toll on his body. In 1956, he was diagnosed with esophageal cancer, which would ultimately prove fatal. Despite his illness, Bogart continued to work, appearing in films like The Harder They Fall and We're No Angels. Bogart's final film, The Desperate Hours, was released in 1955, and it marked a poignant end to an illustrious career. The film, directed by William Wyler, starred Bogart as a ruthless escaped convict who takes a family hostage. It was a characteristic performance from Bogie, full of intensity and nuance. On January 14, 1957, Humphrey Bogart passed away at the age of 57, surrounded by his loved ones. His death was met with an outpouring of tributes and condolences from the film industry and beyond. He was remembered as a true Hollywood legend, a master of his craft, and a beloved figure who had touched the hearts of audiences around the world. In the years following his death, Bogart's legacy has only continued to grow. His films remain timeless classics, and his influence can be seen in generations of actors and filmmakers. He was posthumously awarded the American Film Institute's Life Achievement Award in 1974, and in 1999, he was named the greatest male star of all time by the AFEIA. As we conclude our journey through the life of Humphrey Bogart, it's clear that his impact on Hollywood and popular culture is immeasurable. From his early days on stage to his iconic performances on screen, Bogie left an indelible mark on the world of entertainment. His legacy continues to inspire and captivate audiences today, and his memory remains as vibrant and enduring as the characters he brought to life on screen. That's all for today's Star Bios. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, I'm Casey Gold, reminding you to keep shooting for the stars.